at some point I need to start making my own decisions and controlling my own fate more. My name is Terry Tang. I'm founder and CEO of Kato.8 Studios.
Hi, my name is Pride St. Clair, and I'm a lead designer.
Hi there, my name is Hailey. I'm an art director here at Kato.8.
The first video game I ever remember playing is Street Fighter 2. My cousin bought me my first ever Super Nintendo. First game he ever gave me was Street Fighter 2, and I was hooked day one.
Super Mario for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and Duck Hunt, the dual combo. That was the first game I distinctly remember. I don't think I saw more than the second or third level for most of my childhood. But
the first game I remember playing was some games on the NES that my grandpa had, and I did a lot of Pac-Man and Super Mario, like the NES versions of both of those.
The biggest impact on me in terms of games is probably Chrono Trigger. That one set the standard for me in terms of what games could be, how you could tell a story when it comes to games. That one was just so immersive, so great when it came to character development and storytelling and creating a narrative. And then Fallout 3, that one was so immersive, feeling like I got transported to another reality. Even though we were still on Earth, it was still like another timeline, and it was just crazy. It was just it was like a vehicle to another reality.
Yeah, Super Mario 64 was a watershed moment for me. That was where gaming went from a sort of fun thing I do on the side to a primary hobby. And I really started thinking about games more like, well, why is this game good and this game not good? Or what is it I love about this game and not that game? Especially like as I played more and more of these games, like start to develop tastes, and I started to develop preferences for genre. But I've always had a super eclectic taste, because ultimately this is not like gaming is. It's many things to me. It's traditional gaming, like it's that, and in that way, I mean, you say Dungeons and Dragons had a huge impact on me, as did Warhammer 40,000. Crimson Skies had a huge impact on me.
I was 9 years old, and I was given a copy of Fallout 3. And then I really enjoyed it, and then I was given a copy of Fallout 4 the year later when it came out. That kind of shaped my interest in shooters a little bit. And
one thing about Super Mario that is so incredible is that the design is simple enough that, like the Mega Man X first level example, it teaches you the game's mechanics incredibly quickly, and it is so memorable. The fact that when you hit the block, the way you're facing determines which direction the super mushroom will go, and then you can use that to your advantage to then get the mushroom after it pops out. And so it teaches you to like expect these things. They bounce off solid walls, and the enemies work like this as well. Other watershed games, Super Mario 64, what it did for 3D cameras and 3D movement cannot be understated.
Starting off would be Chrono Trigger and Earthbound. Those two, to me, were the starting points of almost open world. And then going to GTA 3, that is where open world became oh my God. You get to wander around. Basically, if you could think of like taking your action figure as a kid and like going around the world to all the city, the play blocks that you built, that is what you dream of as a kid when you take your action figures and play with them. That to me is the first step in how video games have been built since then.
Some of the most recent games that we've had that I think have like really broke the mold are, it's not even recent, but Dark Souls, obviously. I mean, that game is ancient at this point. It was one of the first games to prove that the old school mentality was not dead. It just needed to evolve.
There are different aspects to what I do that have been shaped by games. Number one, it's planning. A lot of the games I play have to do with planning, whether it's managing inventory, setting goals, getting from A to B to C, and making sure I can come back safe and sound, as well as managing teams, making sure everybody is hitting the target, hitting the goals, making sure that we have a plan and a scope and we can execute properly. And imagination, thinking outside of the box. The game industry has been so volatile. It's been so bad. 2025, 2026, you hear about these massive layoffs, thousands of people getting laid off. And it doesn't make any sense. Gaming is more lucrative than all other forms of media. It makes more money than TV, movies, and music combined. It makes no sense why people are being disposed of so quickly and in such masses.
My work on New World, as part of the expedition team, I was often the man in the middle, like sort of gathering all the disparate pieces, getting AI to finish their part, working with sound to get the music in, or to do some crazy. In Pyrian Forge, we had the pistons were timed to the music. There were artists who were not only doing set dressing, but also concept art. Basically, I was sort of like in the middle of all this, coordinating it and making sure that the level got done. That really set me up. That gave me the experience I needed to feel confident in my own leadership ability. So I had just been laid off from my job at Amazon Games, working on as a game designer on New World, and I had it's called an existential crisis, where I just realized I would never be satisfied in a place where not only can my work be completely destroyed in the case of an MMO shutting down, but where I have so little control over my fate. And though I loved that project and I loved working with the people on that project, it was incredibly hard. For all of us, but we had poured so much work in the past few years into the project, only for it to be shuttered unceremoniously right as we'd finally turned a new leaf. After I got laid off, I saw Terry looking for talent, and I was willing to take a shot on a new team, especially if it meant that I could actually leverage some of my strengths. And thus far, it's been a joy.
I started in tech because I was very directionless when trying to find my path, my career. I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. Tech was just something that was always around me. I grew up in Silicon Valley, so it was just something I kind of defaulted to. So I worked in tech for about 10 years. And then when COVID hit, I was like, I'm working on all these products that I don't really care about. There's no personal connection to all of these tools and products that I just don't feel for. So I thought, what is something I could work on that I have a personal interest in that would actually be fulfilling to me? So, I've been a gamer my whole life. Been a bit of a nerd my whole life, so I thought, all right, it's not a big pivot from tech over to gaming. Let me see if I can do that. And so I did make the leap, and it's been significantly more fulfilling, even though it's been a little bit riskier. It has been something I can sink my teeth into a bit more.
I don't even know if I even believe that that's a real strategy anymore.
I didn't really choose to do this. This was kind of just a drop of the hat experience. I really didn't expect to even get a call back or hear back from Terry at all. I thought it was gonna go into the wastebasket like most of the applications that I've been sending in. I was not fully confident I could do this job now, and now I know I can, but 5 years ago I would have been a complete wreck.
The company is building games that are retro-inspired, very much an homage to video games that I grew up on, a lot of Super Nintendo games that I was very fond of. Harvest Moon or Metroidvania games like Mega Man X, and inspired by combat games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Just
because something is old does not necessarily mean that it is bad. I'm a big fan of beat-em-up games and character action games. I'm a big fan of Mega Man style side-scrollers, and so that was the game that we set out to make. Arcadey, fast-paced, skill expression focused games are a rarity nowadays in the industry. I want to add to that lineage. I want to build from it and build a bigger, more interesting kind of side-scrolling action game.
I've been working on the currently known as the working title Corebound, which is a 2.5D side-scroller post-apocalyptic game.
I think there's a multitude of factors that made me want to do that. Number one, it's bridging the gap between the older generation of gamers and the newer generation of gamers. It's people who grew up on games but didn't have the proper vehicle to make it basically a connection point. You know, we didn't have these games that brought us together the way it does today. You know, we have these online functionalities that you can create communities on, but back then, primarily solo games, or you had to have, you know, a LAN party. Right now, you can connect with so many people all over the world, so people aren't just head count. I want people who are giving their heart and soul into these products and seeing it through.
Don't try and force somebody to conform to a project. Instead, conform to the talent that you have. And to that extent, let people do their jobs. Let people prove you wrong.
None of us are being paid. This is all out of passion, out of people wanting to make something and wanting to see it succeed. And I hope that that shines through with the artwork. There wasn't an art director. I was asking questions and nobody really could answer them. So I became that person.
The boost jump from Mega Man X and Mega Man Zero, and how good it feels to jump out of a dash in that game, and to go blisteringly fast while slashing everything into tiny little pieces along the way. That's the feeling I want to give people. But not just, oh, I flew through the air and I hit a button, the bad guy exploded, but I flew through the air, I hit it twice to put it into hits, to lock it into hit stun, and then I spiked it into the ground, causing it to explode. That's the feeling I want. Empowered. I hope they feel safe to experiment, and that they discover the joy of hitting a tiny robot with a big laser sword and juggling it in the air. This is not a game designed to limit player actions for difficulty. This is a game where if you get a hit, we take our hands off the wheel. And
I hope that the players, when they see like the world building and the environmental stuff that I've been working on, because I'm Mr. Environments, that they, you know, feel the love and the passion that was put into this.
I mean, I've always found different vehicles for escapism. Comic books were a big one. I have a big comic book collection because, you know, it just transport you. You get to live a different life. You get to live by different rules. You know, obviously I wouldn't want to trade my problems for, you know, supervillains and things like that, but thinking about being able to have powers and trading those temporarily is something so granular and so crazy to think about. But it's the interaction where you get to escape. It's being able to make those choices, even if it is two-dimensional, just back and forth. I'm controlling the escapism. I'm getting to control the vehicle momentarily. So it's not linear. It's not the path that's chosen for me like TV shows or a comic book. I am now in control.
I'm not just sitting and waiting on deliveries to judge or to critique. My hands are dirty. I'm making AI. I'm making enemies. I'm creating their routines. I'm doing UI design. I'm redesigning the HUD. I'm adding VFX. Like, there's a lot of things that I touch.
I sit down at my desk after my other job when the 3D artist person kind of disappeared, so we pivoted to having 2D backgrounds set on different planes and spaced out in a way that makes it give the illusion of being 3D. And I had to learn a lot more about 3D modeling, and I had to learn Unity and Blender and all these things that I had never touched before.
The feeling of taking control of a bad situation and enjoying the process of righting wrongs and the pursuit of skill leading to good outcomes.
I hope Terry continues to, you know, strive for making unique games. I mean, having games that, you know, may not be the same visual style, or if they are, it's something new, and something that hasn't been done yet, or something that's, you know, cool. Like, as a game studio, you don't have to stick to the same style. And I think a lot of studios, you know, forget that. And, you know, it's either cartoony or realistic. Terry's like diversifying that. We have pixel art, we have Unreal game, we have a hand-drawn game. I really, really hope that he continues to allow there to be that sort of kind of influence of just everything is differently visually. Like, no two games are the same. I ultimately hope this project gets us off the ground. Do hope it gets our feet off the ground, and I hope it's unique enough that it grabs a hold of the public attention. This company is remembered for its visual uniqueness. No fear in going and just making a game that's, you know, making 3 games at once.
I am now in control of who I am, the choices I make, and where I'm taking my character.